We back, bitch. We back with a script. We wrote down some shit that we finna spit right now. Yeah! Fuck it, I'ma leave that in. That's the new intro, bitches. Obsession is a horror movie about an incel who wishes for the girl he likes to like him back, and from that point onward, the proverbial shit proceeds to hit the allegorical fan. But you're a chronically online zoomer with no social skills outside of the shiny rectangle in your pocket. So, you already knew that. I only said it because YouTube will kill my entire family if I don't appeal to the normies within the first 2 nanoseconds of my video.
Dracarys.
You ever wonder how as a generation we've collectively and arbitrarily decided that 2 different stages of the culinary process are either good or bad depending on what phase you're in. The final stage, you're cooked bro, is bad, while the intermediary stage, let him cook, he's cooking for real, is good. Then for some reason we black queer folk turned around and decided that the aftermath, she ate with that, left no crumbs, goes back to being good again. That shit don't bother you guys? No? Just me? Okay. The scene starts with Ian, the best character in the movie, ripping Bear a new asshole because he promised not to bring his psycho codependent girlfriend to Nikki. Whoa. The scene starts with Ian, the best character in the movie, ripping Bear a new asshole because he promised not to bring his psycho codependent girlfriend Nikki to his party. Ian accurately asserts that Nikki guilted him into bringing her to the party. Bear lies that Sarah, the 4th member of the friend group who likes Bear, actually invited Nikki. When in reality, Bear tried and failed to emotionally blackmail Nikki into letting him go to the party alone by using the fact that she skinned, filleted, cooked and served up his dead cats to him in a pre-packed lunch sandwich as leverage.
Did you cook the cat? Nikki, you can't do that. I am very upset about that.
Which is crazy because his wish is what made her this way.
This is all your fault. Sarah's your fault. You wanted this, you wished for this.
So,
I am very upset about that.
Basically translates to I boinked you on the head and now I'm obsessed that you're bleeding. But him lying to Ian about whose fault it is that Nikki is here right now makes total sense because it's consistent with the way he has been characterized as a spineless loser who's too much of a coward to take what he wants or stand up to anyone. He was too pussy to tell Nikki how he felt about her.
Do you like me? Because if you do, now's the time to tell me.
I think we're good friends.
He was too pussy to stand up to her while actively trying to emotionally manipulate her.
Ian invited me to a boys' night tonight. Ian said it was a boys' night. So I think I'm just gonna go to that, if that's okay with you.
Still asking her permission and trying to divert blame onto Ian, all while actively trying to emotionally blackmail her. So it makes perfect sense that when Ian confronts him about why she's here, he just lies and allocates blame to Sarah instead of taking responsibility. This is a great shot by the way because even though Ian is in the foreground and Nikki is in the background, Ian is the one who is out of focus, which indicates and lays emphasis on the fact that Nikki is the true subject of this entire scene. It's also a great parallel to an earlier scene where they were also talking about her, but back then the entity within her hadn't fully revealed itself, so she's still out of focus. But now that we've seen its true colors, it's bold enough to alter reality and shift focus away from Ian onto itself in this shot. Yeah, that makes sense. Moving on, they walk back to the party where they are all playing a game, and at this point, everybody is aware of how weird it is that they are so freakishly in love all of a sudden. Ian knows some sensitive information about the situation which he has repeatedly tried to confront Bear about, and Bear absolutely knows what's going on because right after he connects the dots, he symbolically grapes her. He witnesses all the freaking weird shit she keeps doing, including but not limited to standing in one spot all day, vomiting, pissing and shitting herself while she waits for Bear to come back and give her attention. At some point, he calls Voodoo customer service and tries to alter his wish, which is a crazy scene because you're talking to some random guy about a girl you already manipulated, trying to figure out how to manipulate her even further, and upon finding out that's not possible, you start brainstorming ways to micromanage the damage you already done to her, instead of just completely undoing what you did. You weird, man, you weird. Ugh. So this scene is super tense and anxiety inducing because when you take into account all that context and remember that this is an unpredictable public social setting, you realize that we have no godly idea what the fuck Nikki is going to do in front of everybody. Also, quick reminder that everybody knows Sarah likes Bear, but don't worry about it. I'm sure that little piece of info will not be totally relevant or important moving forward.
You're supposed to kiss me.
So the only black guy in the movie has a turn, decides to switch seats with Bear to intentionally separate them as a joke. Nikki starts slightly freaking out because she doesn't want to be apart from Bear. Someone makes this joke.
It's okay.
Jeez, Bear, what kind of spells you put on her?
Everyone laughs an appropriate amount at a reasonable volume, but Nikki laughs way too loud for way too long, which makes everybody super uncomfortable and quiet, which hilariously prompts Ian to give Bear this look. That might be the funniest shit in the entire movie, bro. It's Nikki's turn to play, so she stands up and starts perfunctorily reading out loud an excerpt from a book she's writing, where she describes a sister who loves and wants to fuck her brother so badly that she's willing to
Fillet his meaty forearm, roll it like a stick of licorice, and insert the flesh between my legs.
all while clearly making deep eye contact with Bear. When she's done, she sits down, explains that the game made her do it, and once more, the entire room fills with deafening silence. The scene is exponentially more tense and stress-inducing because the diegetic party music and background banter noises start to slowly reduce in volume the longer she reads while the eerie score rises. This is because people in the room who are not part of the game are starting to notice what she's doing, intentionally lowering the music, ending their conversations, and turning their attention towards her so they can figure out what the fuck is going on. It's Bear's turn and he has to kiss the person on his left, so the camera shifts to center him and the person on his left as the eerie score returns, and wouldn't you know, it's Sarah! The girl who openly likes Bear. Oh, fuck, bro, what are you doing to me, Corey Barker? What are you doing? The tension sits for a beat, then Nikki abruptly stands up off screen. The silence and awkwardness sits for another beat, then she walks around the circle until she's standing directly behind Sarah. We get another moment of what feels like several decades of silence as everyone waits in morbid anticipation of what the fuck this crazy person is gonna do next. She grabs Sarah's seat, drags it out of the way, kneels in front of Bear and makes a dog face as if to present herself as the person on his left to be kissed by him. Everyone continues to stare in silence. Bear kisses her, she places her hand on his face, then says this.
No one on this earth will ever comprehend what it feels like to love someone as much as I love you.
As if that wasn't bad enough, she stands up and yells at the top of her breath,
And everyone in this room will die, never feeling the strength of connection I have felt with my bear.
We get another moment of eternal silence. Ian asks Nikki if she's okay. She says that she's joking and starts laughing. No one laughs with her. She rescinds her statements, asserts that she wasn't joking, and tells everyone to deal with it. Ian tries to save what's left of his party by moving on to jello shots. Then as though suddenly awoken from a bad dream, the real Nikki regains consciousness, falls to the floor, starts screaming and shouting. In an attempt to silence the real Nikki, the entity within her quickly breaks a beer bottle, then repeatedly jams it in her face. The room erupts in shock and horror, then in what can only be described as a masterful performance. In the narrative smoothly transitions Nikki's face from neutral surprise to nervous laughter to unnaturally animated shock as the entity within Nikki gauges the vibe of the room, apologizes, then tries to mimic what it thinks everybody expects her to feel in this moment. All the while obviously only making it worse and more dreadful with each new expression it dons like a mask as it tries to casually fit in and inorganically de-escalate the situation. Then in the background, amidst all the screaming, you hear Ian yelling at Bear to help him take Nikki to the hospital as he sits there in what I can only interpret as a combination of shame and defeatist indifference. It's so funny because you can literally hear the "I told you so" in his voice as he tries to help his friend mix his mess. What? It's so funny because you can literally hear the "I told you so" in his voice as he tries to help his friend fix his mess.
Help her! No, you gotta get her to the hospital.
I'm so sorry.
Bear, are you fucking listening to me? Get up!
Let's go.
Get up, asshole!
It's amazing how Corey Barker is able to so effortlessly mix horror and comedy. I truly don't understand how the movie has you completely stressed out and chuckling at the same time. Every time I watch this scene, I get a bad feeling in the back of my neck that slowly builds and rises, even though I know exactly what the fuck is going to happen. A fun detail I noticed upon a rewatch is that when Bear plays his turn, you can see Sarah reading the prompt over his shoulder, then immediately there's a rapid flurry and succession of ambivalent and contradictory emotions on her face as she reads what is basically her dream come true, then immediately realizes that it might as well also just be a death sentence. After Nikki publicly mutilates her own face before a jury of her peers, we get this funny dialogue-free scene of a nurse refusing to deal with her because she's crazy. It's a great movie and I can't recommend it enough. 10 out of 10. Subscribe to my Patreon and give me money. Alright, bye.